It's another Subaru video today, boys, and I'm excited for what we got going on. We gotta get this thing moved over to the empty bay though, because we gotta work on the back end of this thing. Got our damn drift car engine in the way though. I swear to God, it's been like 2 months and this engine is still not in the car. I've been busy. Part of me being busy is this sick new hoodie that I got on. We'll talk about that later in the video. We're gonna kick this video off with what we do best. A good old cold start for the boys. Now I know what you guys are probably thinking. Do I wear these pants in public? The answer is no. These are my working pants. I fell a few times. I'm gonna walk away so you can see the back of this hoodie because it's sick. We'll start for the boys. You see that right there? That's a problem. We have had a freaking hole in this tail light for like 2 years, and we're about to fix that. So what is going on, boys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we got another mod for the 500 horsepower hatch. This is a car that started this channel. I made my first video on this car at 1 subscriber, and we just broke the 10K subscriber mark. So I figured, why not bring back a little build series on the hatch? So if you guys did not catch the first build series video on this, I will put a link on the top of the screen here to that video. We got all the badges swapped out. We put some new lug nuts on, did pads and rotors all around on this thing, drilled and slotted rotors. We also went ahead and did a little bit of engine bay dress up, but in today's video, we're gonna focus on something that I've only really changed on the front end of this car. First of all, look at how close that is to the garage door. Second of all, those are the only aftermarket lights on this car. And if I'm being honest, our rear tail lights just don't match the front end of this car. So let's go unbox today's mod. But before we talk about today's mod, we gotta talk about today's video sponsor. I love doing this part. Myself. Or in other words, something cool. Now, if you guys are not following the Instagram pages, then you're missing out. But we got a new drop. In honor of the 350Z drift car coming onto the channel, we got some new hoodies. Very, very limited quantities already. We sell these in person, and once they sell out, I'm probably not making more of them. And I'm wearing the hoodie right now. Japanese wording for something cool on the front with a cool little like red stripe theme going through it. My own personal design. And then on the back, we got the good old 350Z with the something cool tire smoke, which one day, hopefully, is gonna be me on a track, sliding that thing around. That design on the back of the hoodie was done by my cousin Allie. I am going to put a link to her Instagram in the description. If you guys need any graphic designing done, make sure to hit her up. She is a tattoo artist. She's a graphic designer. She is a jack of all trades and master at all of them when it comes to art and design. Next thing that we got are on my feet right now. Don't mind my dirty socks, but we got frickin' something cool slides, boys. I have all the way from US size 4 all the way up to US size 13 on the website. Now I gotta show you guys a couple more cool things that we got. Sunglasses, dude. Hell yeah. We literally got something cool written on the side frames. We got red/orange lenses, we got blue lenses, and we got black lenses. All the photos will be on the website. This is my own personal pair. Nice and tight on your head. You can't shake them off. Another thing that stayed on my head, we restocked. Something cool snapbacks, chase your passion, to cover my hairline that doesn't seem to stop going further and further back on my head. Then in our last little basket of goodies here, get yourself a reusable grocery bag. Something cool logo on the front, my YouTube channel on the back, some good advertising there. We have got 4 different can koozies. I'm telling you guys, this year I am killing it on the variety on this website. 4 colors. Back of the koozie says, time to hydrate with something cool. Something cool on the front. We got the black ones. Something cool on the front. Chase your passion, not a pension on the back. I love this. That's always been the point behind the Something Cool brand, is to chase your passion, do the things that you love in life and that you want to do. As a wise man, Tony Stark once said, no amount of money ever bought a second of time. And even though that's from a Marvel movie, I live by that. Chase your passion, chase your dreams, try and do the things that you want to do because you never know how much time you get. So that's a little cool message to have on a koozie while you're drinking a beer, drinking a pop. I don't know. Whatever you put these on. Orange one, same deal deal is the pink ones, something cool in the front, time to hydrate with something cool in the back. Then this one's one of my favorites, the red something cool koozie with the proudly Canadian and maple leaf on the back of them. Now that's all I'm gonna show in this video. Sorry for taking so long with that, you guys. The support means a lot to me. Any orders over $150 Canadian qualify for free shipping. Thank you guys so much for the support. Let's get to unboxing these taillights because I am so hyped on these. This box is already so dusty. It's been sitting here for like a month. I don't know how plug and play these are gonna be, but I'm hoping it's not gonna be too bad. Oh yeah, those are gonna look sick. The ones that I opted to buy were the smoked ones with the white strips. This is gonna look so good. But now that we got them unboxed, and we got all our wiring, we got the instructions, we're gonna not read the instructions, and we're gonna pull the old ones out. Now I looked all over the place on YouTube to try and find an install video with these taillights, and I couldn't find one. Nobody even has a video showing what they look like, so what I'm trying to say is, you're welcome. We're gonna install these things and see what they look like. And we're gonna show you guys how to do it. So first things first, obviously, we're gonna open the trunk up. And to kick things off, I'm gonna go ahead and remove both of the outer taillights first, which is super easy. You got two 10 mils here, and you're gonna give the taillight a little bit of a whack on the outside while pulling back, and it'll pop right out. There it is. And then we're just gonna unplug the one connector that's there, and the taillight's out. This is the clip I was talking about. You can see that it just slides in that direction. That's why you gotta give it a whack and pull the taillight back. But that takes literally 1 minute to remove. I'm gonna show you how easy it is. Time me. 3, 2, 1, go. Boom, done. NASCAR. That was like less than 15 seconds. Had to be. Now that we got the tail lights on the side out, we're gonna do the ones on the tailgate, which are also just as easy, but there's one more step to these. I also have a slight feeling that we're gonna need to tuck some wires and stuff behind here because they're sequential. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop all of this trunk trim. You literally just grab them and yank them. Whoa, my God. Now we got access to everything. And there's one more bolt for the tail light. There's one hole right next to where the connector is, and there is a 8mm bolt in that hole. We're gonna buzz that guy off, and this tail light should come out like nothing. Drop the nut. There is a little bit of a body clip right on this inner portion, so I just grab a little plastic pry tool, and I'm gonna shove it underneath the front, pry up, pops just like that, and we can take this guy right out. And she is out. Next step, just because things are a little crusty in here, little Stelter Solutions speed coat. Man, this stuff smells so good. Now, there's definitely more connectors in here that make this sequential that I'm gonna need to run the harness probably through here and then up the pillar into the hatch, but I just wanna connect this and see what these look like. All right, I only plugged the one connector in. Let's just check the fitment. Oh, brother. I only have one connector plugged in. Let's turn on the lights and see what it looks like. Oh, yeah, that's sick. It looks orange on camera, dude. That is straight red. I just went ahead off camera and plugged everything in loose just to see if it works and how it works. And it's pretty cool. Oh my gosh, that looks good. You guys can see the harness that I'm talking about here. So I'll give you guys the breakdown. On the taillights themselves, there is two connectors coming off the one in the hatch. There's gonna be an extension harness, and the kit comes with two of them. I still have my other one sitting here wrapped up on the bench, along with the resistor that they provide with some 3M sticky tape, which is nice. You're gonna plug the factory connector into their one big connector on that taillight, and then you're gonna plug their two small connectors into that harness that they give you. Then we're gonna route this right along the factory harness here. It's gonna go through here. We're gonna get a coat hanger or something to push this through this loom because I don't wanna put any holes in it. I wanna make this look as factory as possible. And then this is a lot more work than I thought it was gonna be. We're gonna have to pop some of this trim here so that we can route the harness down nice and clean with the factory harness that goes to this taillight. Now with this taillight, same idea. Factory harness plugs in right here. Nice and easy. Spec D made this nice and plug and play for you guys. Then you got your same two connectors that were on the other one, which are on that harness that runs up to the other taillight. And then there is a third connector on this taillight, which you do need to mount a resistor to. And depending how long you keep a signal light on, this resistor is going to get hot because it is restricting the current that runs to the taillight so you don't get a fast flashing signal light. And what I mean by a fast flashing signal light is that it just goes ballistic. So that is the purpose of this little resistor that they have here. They just wire it in parallel to pull some of the current away so that after going through resistor, there's less current going back to the gauge cluster so that it doesn't freak out. We are going to plug this in on the top side first, and then we're gonna route it from the top down. Now, there's a couple of Phillips screws, it looks like, in here. One right at the back. One right by the seatbelt. And if you lift this weather stripping up a bit, it makes it a lot easier to pop this trim off. Now once you get this off, you can pop this piece out for the seatbelt. Next piece I'm gonna show you guys to take off on the inside here. There is two body clips right above the mirror in the trunk here. And then we're gonna pop that SRS airbag cover off and take the bolt off that's in there. And then this whole trim panel should pop off. The tough part is fishing this through this little grommet. And you're gonna waste your time if you try and do it this way. Grab a coat hanger. Take some electrical tape. You're gonna wrap it around the connectors and your coat hanger so that they don't slip out. Stiff piece of metal to shove it through there. So I'm going to shove it through this grommet. Now since I got that through, this is when I just take all the electrical tape off and we can start running the harness by hand again. And just like that, we got our harness fully run through the grommet, which was a piece of cake. Full hatch section is done. You got the harnesses coming in from the upper tail light on the tailgate. They run down along the side here in the factory clip underneath the window defroster wires in that factory clip into the hatch there through this grommet, which you literally can't tell that we have a harness in there whatsoever. Underneath here, you can see where it comes down through. And then we got it clipped into the factory clip there. It goes between those two connectors. And then we're running it along this harness. And now, if we want to do this as clean of an install as I want to, I think the best way to do this with these taillights is to just pull out all the trunk trim. Because then I'm not reefing on this, trying to dig my hands in there. I can run it nice and clean. We can zip tie it and do the job right the first time. There's not much to it. You literally pop that little clip right there on the side, and then there is going to be a 10 mil bolt on that. Then at the back of the hatch, there's going to be another one right here. Same thing, another 10 mil right there. And then before you even pull that side lower C-pillar trim off, you do have to pull this whole piece off right here, but it's nice and easy. There's just a couple of body clips along the bottom, and then you just grab it and pull up and pop all the body clips. With the blacked out theme that I'm going for with this car with the black and blue, that looks freaking good. That side is completely installed. This side I still have loose because I want to show you guys how I routed this so that you can route it the same, because I'm pretty happy with how clean this came out. So starting on the passenger side of the car, I already showed you guys where it went into that white clip, and then it runs between these two connectors right here behind the seatbelt. But I'll show you where I put the zip ties. You guys can see right there where there's a zip tie. It runs along this whole harness, and you can see I pulled all the excess that I had and I just zip tied it all behind here because this is going to be hidden behind a trim panel. You're never going to see any of that, so I figured I'd rather hide the excess here rather than when you pull the taillight out having a whole bunch of wiring sitting behind the bumper there. Then the wire just goes right through the factory grommet right there, and I'll show you guys how I did that on this side. So looking at the back side of these taillights, you guys can see where I mounted the resistor. You got to be careful with the wires for the resistor because they do unplug easy. And if you start to get a fast flashing signal light, you know that this connector came unplugged. So you could put a zip tie around it just to make sure it doesn't come out, but I'm gonna leave it for now. And then I had to re-electrical tape all of this because I just cut a slit in the electrical tape, peeled it back, and then used the coat hanger method again to push the two connectors that plug into the taillight through that grommet. So I didn't have to cut the grommet or anything. I just pushed it through the factory size hole that was there, and then electrical taped it back all up to get it nice and sealed. And we can get all these trim panels put back on, and we can get the final look of these things. I gotta give you guys a peek of what these look like. We're gonna go through all the functions, and then I gotta get this into a cool little cinematic of like the old taillights compared to these new ones, because this is crazy how good these look. Oh my God. That just ties it all together, dude. Especially with the black wheels and the black handles and the tinted glass. Like, I was a bit nervous about these, and if I'm being honest, I ain't nervous anymore. We crank the brightness down so you guys can kind of get a feel of what they're like. They look orange on camera. I swear they're red. But as promised, we're gonna go through all the functions that we can do. So this is what they look like with the light switch off. Clearance lights, left signal, right signal, that's the brake lights, and then this is reverse. And then this is what the hazards look like. And that is all the functions that I can think of with these taillights. That looks sick, dude. All right, it has been a couple weeks since that last clip of me showing you guys the taillights. And I haven't uploaded a YouTube video in like a month, but it's all for good reasons. Sometimes you need some time off to gather yourself, figure out if you're enjoying yourself with what you do, try some new things in life. It's okay to need some time to yourself. But one thing I will say is these new taillights won me an award at a show. We took this car to Driven Edmonton. It's a huge car show, and this thing won Best in Class Subaru. And the only mod I did to it since the last show that we did in Calgary was these taillights. I didn't win an award in Calgary, but I did win an award in Edmonton. And I didn't film anything at all in Edmonton. I did film at the show in Calgary, but honestly, it just wasn't a good enough video for me to post, so I'm just getting rid of all that footage. And one thing I'm realizing now with YouTube is that I would rather put out less videos that are higher quality rather than put out a whole bunch of videos that aren't good quality. But it all just takes time, and that's something that I've always battled with, but I'm slowly learning how to manage. So with that being said, I'm gonna stop talking. We got one more mod that we're doing in today's video, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the rear taillights. We got some Amazon special sequential mirror signal lights. We are gonna be doing something very scary here, which is removing this mirror cap to get this light out. Now obviously the theme of this build has been kind of the blacked out lights. We did the smoke lens in the front, smoke lens in the back, and now we got these kind of clear mirror lights, which I want gone. So to remove these, it's always extremely sensitive. There is tabs behind the mirror cap. You gotta find the right place to start prying, and it is very hard. That did not sound good. I feel like I just broke something. These are so easy to break, boys. But if I only broke one, it should still be okay. Now there's just some Phillips screws holding this thing on. Let's hope on the other side I get a little bit better. Easy as that. Now one thing I am noticing with these new ones, they don't have the nice foam seal around them. I'm wondering if I can peel it off the factory light and transfer it over. So here's what we're gonna do. Shop towel, take some good old spray adhesive, and then stick our foam seal to the light. Now our cheap little Amazon lights have the nice factory Subaru foam seal on it. Now that we got the new foam seal on, as easy as plugging this thing in, screwing her into place. Now for the final product, and one thing I do want to say is I super glued and then plastic welded a zip tie to support this clip. So now we're gonna snap this back on and hopefully she don't break and it holds. There was already one broken one on the bottom. That must have been from the auto body shop taking this off to repaint it before. She's on there. Uh-oh. That's not good. My signal light is going right now and it doesn't work. Oh man. Instead of being negative, we're gonna pop this side off because I don't want to break the tabs on that side. We're gonna see if this one works. That broke again. Come on. How many did I break? There's 2 broken ones, but they're fixable. All right, now what I think is happening is the pins just aren't making good contact. So to test out that theory, I'm gonna plug this one in while the signal light's on and see if it starts to flicker. There it is. With these fully plugged in, they don't work. Amazon quality, brother. There we go. I got it plugged in with the pins in place this time. And guess what? She works. Definitely still got to transfer over that foam seal on this side. But now I know what our problem was on the other side. You kind of got to bend the pins down by hand and look through the little hole where the connector clicks in and line up the tabs. Honestly, that just comes with this being a little bit cheaper of a part. They don't have the proper pins on them, but that's okay. You can bend them and make it work. Well, this one's got one broken tab on this side too. At least we could finish up one side. Plastic welded this one back together. Let's see how the final product looks on one that actually works. Click. Hell yeah. That looks good. We got that one flashing in the front, sequential on the mirror. I got the camera super dark so you guys can see this. And then the other sequential in the back, but the lights aren't on right now so you don't see the red. I'm gonna bend these prongs down a little bit like I did on the other side. Oh, there it is. So now when I plug it in, I just gotta make sure that the prongs actually go into the terminals because I think they went behind them. You gotta be very careful when putting these in that they line up. But now we got them to line up. It ain't OEM fitment, but once you plug it in, nobody knows. Now I still gotta put the resistors in the front headlights. As you can see, they still have that little bit of a flicker and a white flash before they go orange. But this sequential is working on the mirror, and then with the red lights on at the back, that is what it looks like for the signal light. And that looks mean, boys. But now that we got this thing all finished up, this is the last of the lighting mods that I wanted to do. So the final piece to the puzzle of this video is let's get a sick cinematic of what this thing looks like in the daytime with these lights, with the old lights, and then at nighttime with the new lights. I'm so hyped on this, dude. It looks so sick. I decided these are the best looking taillights for the STI Hatch. Other than the Valenti or Valenti, however you say it, taillights, those are my favorite. These are a close second. There's no other one on the market that looks better than this. I haven't seen any other videos on YouTube of people installing these taillights. So if this swayed you to buy these taillights or just gave you information on how these taillights look, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, like the video, go subscribe to the channel, all that fun stuff. Last video we hit 10,000 subscribers. Now we're all the way up at 11,000 already. I appreciate the support from you guys. I'm gonna try and be more consistent, but I'm doing this YouTube stuff for fun. It's not a job for me, so I post when I can post. But with that being said, I hope this video helped you guys out because it definitely helped me. These freaking lights are sick, dude. We got tons more mods to do to this thing. I will put a link to both the parts that we used in this video down in the description, but that's gonna be it for this one, boys. Peace out. I will catch you guys in the next video. Go build something cool.